Good morning. I want to show you something that's getting ready to happen. This is the one of my CPR overflows, and this is the infamous and dreaded Tom Aqua Lifter, which they no longer make. So if you have them, you better take care of them. Do you see this bubble that's starting to form here? That means it's getting plugged up. Look at what's coming out of it. Now this happened to me before, and I showed you a video on that. I'll reference it in the description. And I didn't notice it for a long period of time, and finally this thing failed. And it triggered my Auto Aqua, the level security, which saved me from a flood. But I'm going to take this apart and clean it, and I'll show you, because you can't buy these anymore, and you can't buy the parts for them either, so you got to take care of them. I'll show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this off, and because I want to keep the tank running, I'm going to put a little power head on here. I'll show you. Okay, what I have here is a little AquaClear, the power head, which is probably about 20 years old. And you can use any power head as long as it has a Venturi on it. So I'm going to hook this Venturi up in place of the Tom's Aqua Lifter. Okay, I've done the swap. Got the little power head down in here. The Venturi line is running to the suck nipple for the, that's a disgusting phrase. Anyway, for the CPR. So the Aqua Lifter is free, and I'm going to take it apart. Okay, there's 4 screws on the back of this. You take these 4 out, and it opens up to reveal this. Now what holds the diaphragm down in there is a screw right in the center. You can see that. The wife got me this little tripod for Christmas because she said everyone's sick of my shaky hands, which is probably true. So this comes out. Now what you got to do is peel these guys back, which for me is not easy to do. I'm going to have to go get a different screwdriver. Hold on, let me get a different screwdriver. Okay, I had to get some help. If you have normal hands, this is easy to do. Okay, here's the problem. Can you see this muck that's in here? This is what's stopping that thing from working. Now this is good. You have to take and clean it here. You have to take this off and clean it. And once you take this side off, there's a screw on the other side. I'll show you. Okay, here's the screw. One side has no screw, one side has screw. You take the screw out, take all of this apart, and clean very thoroughly all of these different pieces until you can blow air through here with no problem. I'll go clean it up and I'll show you. Okay, here's something to remember. Here are the 4 main parts. You got these 2 heads, and you got these 2 gaskets. And these gaskets have a flat on them. Do you see how that's oriented there? Make sure when you take this apart that you remember how that is oriented, because otherwise it won't work when you put it back together. Okay, so I cleaned them all up with a toothbrush and a spray gun and made sure I could blow through these holes, and all kinds of stuff come out of there. It was really just disgusting. Okay, here's the way you want to start. Consider this the back. Hold this. On the right hand side is where the diaphragm piece with the screw goes in it. Now you pick up a gasket, and you see the gasket. It has a hole in the middle where the screw goes, and it has 2 holes here. Those are for air, and it has a hole, small holes on each side. That's where these little pins go. Do you see those little pins? You put those little pins in there. You used to be able to buy these and just replace them, but they don't even sell the parts anymore. Okay, so this is the right side with this the back, and the flat goes here. Right? Do you see the flat? So that's how it's oriented. So now my screw goes through, and I do the same thing on the other side. So I orient this. This goes through the screw hole with the flat that way. I got my little legs are sticking out. They go in these little teeny holes. And then I screw it together. Got out of the frame there, didn't it? Okay, now these guys are left and right, doesn't matter. So this clips in here. Boom. and then you take this over top. I'll do that off camera because it's hard for my hands. Hold on. Okay, she's back together. Now, at this point, put your mouth on here. This should be clean, so it shouldn't be a problem. Put your mouth on here and blow, and you should feel these inflate. That means that you don't have a leak, and that's what you want. Okay, so I'm going to reinstall it in the motor, and we're going to put it back on, and I'll show you the difference. Okay, let's see how she did. I got the power head off there. I got it back on. Do you see now the way the water is coming out? Whereas before it was just dripping. One other thing I forgot to say. This nipple here on top, which is what pulls out the water, also clean that out. While you're doing all this operation, make sure you clean that. Okay, anyway, there it is. If you have a Tom Aqua Lifter, you better take care of it. You're not going to get any more. I'll see you later.